I was asked about unusual.
Read birds.
I'm not going to sing. Thank you. So I was asked about the unusual people who come on tour, and so just one little story about one guy who came on tour who was not too unusual. He was a very nice guy who I've seen a few times since, but he did have the weirdest story that I've heard. He claimed and claims to this day that in the War Museum he was attacked by the guide with a kind of experimental weapon that emits a sonic pulse and disrupts your internal organs and makes you sick. A kind of non-lethal weapon, like crowd control sort of thing. So what he said was he said he was asking a question and he was phrasing it in a way that he now realizes was wrong. And he believes that the museum guide put her hand in her pocket. I don't know which guide he was talking about because there are several there. Pressed some kind of button, and he said he immediately felt his organs contracting, and he felt like he needed to vomit, and he ended up going outside and being sick, and he was sick for most of the day. He was also up until about 4 the previous morning, so obviously a coincidence. But he's absolutely certain that this happened, and I pointed out that this is pretty unlikely, and that people don't really do that sort of thing. And he said that he'd read in Jane's Intelligence Weekly, you know, the magazine that goes on about military issues, that these sorts of weapons were being developed mainly by the Israelis. And so obviously I pointed out that this was probably in a room in the Pentagon rather than in a North Korean museum guide's pocket. But he said, no, you know, I'm not going to make any trouble out of it, and she was right to do it because I was out of line. But this guy's absolutely convinced that such weapons exist. So just watch what you say, basically, because you know, Lim's carrying around a bag and nobody's seen what's inside it, so maybe he's got one.